remember what we talk about with playing catch, okay? It's, I don't know, it's a tie between stretching and playing catch as far as the most neglected part of your game. But if we look at everything as a build-up, right? You have your final exam in school, and then you have your first day of school. Everywhere between is a build-up, right, to get to that end. Well, our build-up is getting to the game mound. That's where we're trying to get to, right? So even though we're training right now, we're thinking this in terms of a game. When we play catch, we want to accomplish a couple things. Yes, we want to get loose, but that's the most common answer I get. Why do we play catch? Well, it's to get my arm loose. It's a very small part of it. It's a part of it, but a small part of it. You want your body and mind to start getting into sync. You want that to start working together, right? Where we say you're coming in with stuff on your mind and you're going to go out into other stuff. You want to make sure that none of that impacts your performance. Come on. Here you go. We're talking about playing catch. So when we play catch, it's to get your mind on the task at hand, right? It's also to start getting timing down. Now, you're not purposely putting your timing in place. Your brain will do that for you. But you got to give it a chance. You give it a chance by making sure you keep your eyes on your target. Accelerate. Doesn't mean go fast. Accelerate, right? Different than speed. You can still be going slow as you're warming up, but speeding up, and then staying in that straight line. We want to really keep working in straight lines. There is no reason when we're throwing the ball, playing catch, to be falling off to the side. We should be staying straight through our target the entire way. Anybody know why we only use a four seam when playing catch? At least to start. Later when long tossing, you can bring in your changeup, and then when you're all done, you could spin grips. But in the beginning, why do we just use a four seam? What's the four seam supposed to do? Stay straight, right? So if my four seam in playing catch is staying straight, all right, things are looking good. But if I'm throwing to my partner and my ball's starting to tail or starting to cut, but I'm holding that four seam grip, then something is physically wrong. Mechanically, I'm doing something wrong. You'll really see it exaggerated in long toss. When you long toss, a lot of guys, they try to throw it so far that they'll just fly open. And that's when the fingers drop down to the side of the ball and cause that four-seamer to run on you. Make sense? So that's why we want to use our four-seam. Remember, righties, backward C, lefties, forward C. Okay? So play catch with a purpose. Pick a spot out. One last thing. When we play catch, where should we look? Braden, come on down here. Okay? Alex, come on down here. I'm not going to use myself as an example because of how much taller I am. So we'll use these two guys. No, you can come closer, stay there. Okay? Where would he typically look right now if they were throwing together? Where would Braden look at Alex if they were throwing partners right now? Chest, right? Put your fingers up. So if he's throwing from here, look at the angle that that's taking to his chest. It's kind of flat, right? When we throw, not that we're going 100 miles an hour trying to hurt the guy, but what if he looked at his knee? Or at least between the knee and the hip, preferably down at the knee. Now look at where the ball is going. Look at the path it's traveling down. When you think about pitching in a game, which one resembles more of what you want to accomplish later on in competition? The knee, right? We want to get those fingers on top of the ball working down. There is a time and place to elevate that fastball up in the zone, fine. But we have to get ourselves ready to compete. We're going to be higher up on a mound. The target's going to be lower. We have to be able to get our fingers on top of the ball to throw downhill. Okay? So when we start playing catch, look lower than usual. Okay? You want to start at the hip, that's fine. Work your way down toward the knees. Sound good? All right, four seam. Here we go. You can move back, guys. Make sure we're looking at his knee. We're looking at his quad. There you go. Your throwing partner should not be comfortable playing catch with you. Watch the spin on the ball too. Partners, help each other out. We should know the good four-seam backspin. If we're not seeing it, something's wrong. Okay, don't force it down there, right? Just feel your fingers go to the target. Feel your fingers go to the target. Keep your eyes on the target and feel your fingers follow. Good? Think of how many times other players just waste this part of their day. They don't actually throw with a purpose. And then they get on the mound and they're asked to throw each grip to each location for a reason. But they haven't done it yet that day. Because everything they've done is just going through the motions. So even though we're throwing with a purpose, we're not tense. We can talk to each other. We catch the ball. We don't jump out of the way. We're not aiming either. Feel if you slow down. If you slow down, you know you're wrong. Your fingers should be speeding up. And listen, some guys are throwing the ball away. That's not a bad thing. You're learning what you don't want to do. It's not a bad thing. So don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy to miss. If you could talk to every major league pitcher right now and ask them, have you ever thrown the ball away when playing catch? They'll probably tell you a time recently that they did it. Everybody does it. We can't be timid.